Hello there, hope you're all well. My name's Tom, this is Ruth, and this is Erin, and we're all exercise referral professionals. And today we're going to take you through a seated gentle warm-up. We will have a stood option there as well. Who is this exercise aimed at? Well, it's aimed at people who may come to exercise referral classes already, or those looking for gentle exercise. Having said that, I just put a little screening out there to start with. If you do take medication, make sure you have had your medication if needed. Any injuries or illness, don't train through them, train around them. If one of our exercises cause you pain, please don't do it. Please either sit out and just keep your heels lifting, or look for an alternative exercise that's going to suit you. Having said that, I hope you've got a safe surroundings and a nice chair. Okay, I'd probably go for a solid chair like this with no sides, and we want to be away from the back. I'm going to start the warm-up just by showing you the seated position. I'm going to turn side on to make this easier. So if you're currently at the back of your chair, we need you to gently hip walk forward to the front. From there, let's have a look at our posture. So my hips, if I just tilt them forward, that's going to lift my chest, shoulders coming back and down. I prefer to put my hands on the side of the chair because it just keeps me nice and snug there. Okay, and the first thing we're after is we're just going to raise these heels into a little march, alternating legs to start us off. Lovely stuff. If you find yourself getting out of puff during any exercise, just come back to a gentle march or have a little rest. And from there, let's lift these shoulders slowly up and slowly down. Slowly up and slowly down. If you like, inhale on the up and exhale on the down. Inhale on the up and exhale on the down. One more. And back to just lifting these heels in a little march. Now we've got a bit of mobility in the shoulders, we're going to come into a light march. You can see I'm bent at the elbow, and you can see we're all driving from the shoulder. Lovely stuff. Just concentrating on your breathing. Might seem obvious. A lot of times people just find yourself holding your breath, so gently breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And slowing that down, let's take hold of the side of the chair, and we're just going to lift these knees slightly higher. Toes are coming down first. You might feel a little bit of ache higher up in the legs, around the hip. That's quite natural. We can have a little bit of ache, but we're not looking for any sharp pains. And back to just a light little march. Let's keep it low. Just lifting these heels. My toes are still on the floor, and I'm going to come back to a light little march again. Lovely stuff. So we're all swinging from the shoulders. We're still on that front third of the chair. And relaxing the arms. Sitting it tall. Let's have a posture check. So hips rolled slightly forward, chest lifted, shoulders backing down, just bringing that chin back slightly. Okay, lifting these knees. And back to a light little march. We're going to go for some ankle mobility now. So it's going to be a heel strike followed by a toe strike. Every time I do this, I'm going to lift the knee. So I'm going to plant my heel, lift the knee, turn down the toe. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. Go at a pace that suits you. I'm going to get a stiff neck, so I'm going to turn and I'm going to do this stood. And last one. And back to a light little march. Let me get rid of my chair. And let's do exactly the same on the other leg. And heel strike and toe. If you are performing this stood, you can always stand holding the chair. Lovely stuff. So about 5 to 6 of these. Last one. And we're back to a march. Just nice and light. And we're going to slide a leg forward. Imagine you're pressing down on a pedal. And this is going to work the back of the legs. Make sure you are on the front third of your chair, otherwise it will dig into the back of your legs a little bit. Lovely stuff. You can see both Ruth and Erin are stretching their legs out. One more on each leg. 1, 2, and we're back to a light little march. So we're working, we've started at the ankles, we're working up through the knees, back of the legs. Now we want to get the hips. So this is a great one, a practical one, getting in and out the car. So we're going to lift from the hip, take the knee out to the side, lift from the hip, back to center, and alternate legs. With all exercises, start small, okay? I want to warm these joints up. Start with a small exercise, and then after I've done a couple, my first one I might get out of a mini, then a saloon, and by the end of it we'll have you getting out of a tractor. Lovely. How are we all feeling?
Okay, thank you.
Good stuff. Remember, if you do need a break, just have a little break. Last one. And then we're going to come back to just lifting those heels into a light march. So we've worked up through the hip. Now we want this lower part of the back. Any lower back pain, only work up to the pain, not into the pain. If your back is particularly stiff, then I would start small and be progressive, okay? I'm going to put my feet out a little wider to give me a bigger base. You can do the same seated. I'm going to go over to my right to start with, making it a small movement, slowly back up and to my left. Any heart conditions, just keep your toes gently tapping, because it just helps the blood coming back to the heart. And now I'm steadily making this action just that little bit bigger. Let's have one more on each side. 1, 2, and relaxing there. I'm bringing these feet back in, and I'm back to a light march. I hope you're all feeling well. We're going to come back to these shoulders again, and we're going to give them a nice big roll, okay? So if I'm going to go side on so you can see this, I'm going to come up, back, pinch and squeeze, and down. So I'm up, back, pinch and squeeze, and down. This should feel really nice. You might feel a bit of cracking. You might not. I feel a little crunch in my shoulder there. And let's have one more. Just mobilizing, and we're back to that little heel lift when you're done. Okay, lovely stuff. Hope you're all feeling well. Now we're going to work up the back a bit more. So again, I'm going to plant my feet to give me some stability. I'm still tapping my toes for any heart conditions. I'm going to bring my hands out. I'm going to put my elbows onto my floating ribs, and then I'm going to bring my hands almost to make a little needle point. From there, I'm going to rotate to the right, allowing my eyes to follow, hips pointing forward, slowly back to center with a little pause, and then round to the left. And little pause. If you can, just try and get in a breathing cycle with this. Okay, so my inhale and exhale on my movement. You can also really brace the tummy muscles on the out and maybe relax them on the in. So what this means is to draw that belly button in. It gives us good lumbar support as well. Lovely stuff. Last rotation. And we're back to center. I'm bringing my feet slightly in and back in for a light march. So we're mobilizing all our joints. We've worked through the back. Now it's time to go into the shoulders just that little bit more. So we're going to take the one arm at the back of the head, and I just want you to stroke the back of your head. A couple of strokes, about 4 to 5. And take it over and down. Same with the other arm, just as demonstrated here. If not, we can just come in front of the face instead. If you can't bring it up, or if one arm needs assisting, you can always lift up instead. Okay, and we're back to a little march, about 4 or 5, and then back to a march. That's our one pulse raiser. We're going to do one more, and we're going to do it from as if we're holding an imaginary oar. So we're going to come down the one side, up and out the water, and down the other. If I turn side on, I start at the chin, come out down the hip. Start at the chin and down to the hip. And slowing it, and relax. And that's the end of the warm-up.